what's wrong with the, I don't know what's wrong with Facebook, but the room wouldn't allow everyone to confirm. And for some reason, they have a new system, it looks like, that says you have to, the participants in the Facebook room now have to confirm to be recorded. So that, and half of you could confirm and the other half of you couldn't confirm. So, and then it wouldn't allow me to go live. So so here, we're here now. We're here in Zoom. Okay, so is my, oh, here, good. And see, I was able to bring my workstation on, so that's nice. I like being able to do that, because we're going to work in our goddess moons, or whatever you're working in. I call it Chronicle. It's the Cosmic Smash book. And so I'm just going to have a moment of just taking a few breaths, a few relaxation breaths to be here now. We've got it all behind us. So I'm going to have us do 3 breaths, and then I'm going to read the invocation by John Seed. And then we'll move into our creating process, and I'll share what our creating process is going to be all about today. So I'm going to pin my little workstation. So give me a second to pin that. Everybody should see my hand now on the screen. Okay, good. So if you were following the layout format of the Goddess Moons book, then you know that, so you're opening it up one page, right? And then you open to the next page, and the next page was our traditional resting page, but in the Goddess Moons, we're doing it slightly modified, right? If you're doing it. So this is the initial resting page, and then it unfolds into sections, right? It unfolds into sections so that you actually have a compartment, a page where you can make a resting page for every season: spring, summer, autumn, and then next winter. Or you can do, how you can use this however you want. But I'm going to be working on a spring resting page today with an emphasis on earth. And so that means what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a will of the year, just from a quarter standpoint. So it's gonna look something like this. This is a page I did a long time ago, but it's going to look something like this, where it just has the seasons. And we're grounding into the earth now at the spring, because we're at the beginning of this will of the year, and we're starting to move. We only have another month of spring, and then we're going to start to move into the other components of the will of the year. And so I'm inviting you that if you do this, that as we settle into and rest in the spring, that as we create this will of the year, if you're doing it for all 4 seasons, or you're just doing a will that's for spring, that's your emphasis, that you're resting into spring now. You're resting into your attitude, your mind, your higher mind. You're resting into your ways of thinking, and your inspiration, your mental body, your emotional body, because they tie in together, of course. And you begin to have that sense of I am presence, because the I am presence really is rejuvenated every spring, especially as we move towards the final month, which is April. It's ahead of us, but we're in the middle of spring. That what we're doing is we're preparing to step in fully and embrace the I am. And the I am, of course, is the motto of Aries that comes in at the end of this month and leads us into April. But that's the spring. That is the spring energy. It's all about the mind. It's all about our thinking. It's about our behavior. It's about our attitude. And so we're going to rest into the lightness of being. We're going to rest into our mental body. We're going to rest into the receptivity of our thoughts and our thinking, and rest into the expansion of our consciousness. Okay, but before we do that, before we begin creating, I'm going to invite you to come back to me for a second and just settle into your body, your physical body. And relax, release your any physical tension you have, or that you're holding anywhere in your body. Just take a deep, full belly breath in, a cleansing breath. Gather it all up from inside of you. And as you exhale, just audibly exhale and let go. So breathing in. And let's do one more cleansing breath. Breathing in. And then just remain focused on your natural breath now. And we're going to take a breath for higher mind. And a breath for light body. And a breath for soul. And just continue to ride the current of your breath, really feeling the air, the element of air around you. How wonderful it is, how it feeds you, how it sustains you. And just follow the flow of your breath as we begin to rest fully into the energy of spring and ground that into the earth, Mama. And just follow your breath, feel your air. We ask for the presence of the spirit of Gaia and pray that the breath of life continues to caress this planet home. May we grow into true understanding, a deep understanding that inspires us to protect the tree on which we bloom and the water, soil, and atmosphere without which we have no existence. May we turn inwards and stumble upon our true roots in the intertwining biology of this exquisite planet. May nourishment and power pulse through these roots and fierce determination to continue the billion-year dance. May love well up and burst forth from our hearts. May there be a new dispensation of pure and powerful consciousness and the character and charter to witness and facilitate the healing of the tattered biosphere. We ask for the presence of the spirit of Gaia to be with us here, to reveal to us all that we need to see for our own highest good and for the highest good of all. We call upon the spirit of evolution, the miraculous force that inspires rocks and dust to weave themselves into biology. You have stood by us for millions and billions of years. Do not forsake us now or in the future. Empower us and awaken in us pure and dazzling creativity. You that can turn scales into feathers, seawater to blood, caterpillars to butterflies, metamorphosize our species, awaken in us the powers that we need to survive the present circumstance and evolve into more eons of our solar journey. Awaken in us a sense of who we truly are, tiny ephemeral blossoms on the tree of life. Make the purposes and destiny of that tree our own purpose and destiny. Fill each of us with love for our true self, which includes all of the creatures and plants and landscapes of the world. Fill us with a powerful urge for the well-being and continual unfolding of this self. May we speak in all human councils on behalf of the animals and plants and landscapes of the earth. May we shine with a pure inner passion that will spread rapidly through these laden times. May we all awaken to our true and only nature, none other than the nature of Gaia, this living planet Earth. We call upon the power which sustains the planets in their orbits, that wills our Milky Way in its 200 million year spiral, to imbue our personalities and our relationships with harmony, endurance, and joy. Fill us with a sense of immense time so that our brief, flickering lives may truly reflect the work of vast ages past and also the millions of years of evolution whose potential lies in our trembling hands. O stars, lend us your burning passion. O silence, give weight to our voice. We ask for the presence of the spirit of Gaia. Take a gentle breath in. And as you breathe that air and you feel the spring energy fully around you, as you exhale, begin to blink open your eyes and use your sight, which is the sense of spring. And let us rest in spring, creating our spring resting page. And you can use one panel or you can make it a full page spread, whatever you want, it's your choice. But let's bring in our spring resting page. And I'm going to invite everyone to open their mics and just enjoy talking about spring and energy of air and sight and the colors of spring that really speak to you, and just to share also about your own personal process. And if you have a story about you and spring, feel free to share that too. So like I said, I'm going to start with by writing the words. O stars, lend us your burning passion. O silence, give weight to our voice. We ask for the presence of the spirit of Gaia in this spring. That's what I'm going to write here. And I'm going to use a yellow watercolor pencil to do that with. So that's my intention. And then I'm opening up to my alignment with the goddesses of spring, the divine feminine of spring. And I am going to ask them to show me, inspire me, awaken me, whisper to me, guide me. This spring, oops, I guess let me pull it back on. For some reason, no, I'm still there. Okay, let me pull me off. So you should be able to just see my workstation. Okay, so you can see how I've written it. And I am not going to I'm choosing not to put gesso over this. I'm going to do a yellow background in watercolor. Actually, maybe I'm going to work with my Car and Dash crayons. Put my water here. And then I think I'm going to put a blue sky around this is like my spring medicine wheel or something. I don't know. Maybe it's my spring shield. Okay, I'm going to hit a blow dryer, so I'm going to mute my mic for just a moment. Okay, so I also believe and feel that for my spring resting page that I want the movement of air in my page. So I'm going to bring that. And so that's another thing to consider, is bringing in the different symbols that are meaningful to you with regards to spring. And then I'm feeling like I need little green vines coming up inside of mine to represent the new growth for this wheel of the year. Uh, Linda, I read, that's from my Gaia tradition book, that the invocation, and I'm putting it into a PDF format, so you'll all get a copy of it towards the end of the year. And or maybe even earlier. I'm almost done with it. So once I get it done, I will post a PDF copy of it into our Goddess Moons group. Because I'm actually working out of it quite a bit this year, rather than reinvent the wheel, right? So, let me just open up my camera again so you can see. Yeah, so it's this book, My Gaia Tradition, and so that's what I read out of, and it goes by, this book is celebrating the Earth and her seasons. Actually, it was called Celebrating the Goddess in Her Seasons, but Llewellyn loves to change titles. Anyways, that's what it was from. Sorry. All right, let me unpin me. Okay. Now, we worked with a keyword also. Remember, we were on a branch in one of our times together in, I think it was at the end of February or even earlier this year. I'm in March this month, but I think it was in February. And yes, it was, because we were contemplating Bridget's cross, and so we were walking the labyrinth, and I encouraged everybody to become aware of which branch on her cross you found yourself standing, and whatever that branch is, there's no branch better than another, um, uh, become aware of that, to pay attention. And so I want to take us back also to that branch you were standing on. And in that particular direction or position on your page, considering that north is the top, south is the bottom, to the right is east, and to the left is west. Somewhere on your page or on your wheel, if you're doing a wheel, put that branch up, in that branch, in that location. Put a little mark, a little symbol, to show that that's your kind of like your grounding direction for the spring energy. So for example, I actually found myself, coming out of I found myself going in on the east, but then I found myself coming out after I walked the labyrinth and we unwinded. I found myself coming out on the west. So I actually did this whole thing. But in the east, then, of my page or of my wheel, I'm going to put a little Bridget's cross to show that that's where I anchored in at the beginning of the season. Okay. And so I'm just making it very simple. I know what it means to me, right? I know what it means to me, even if nobody else knows what that means. So if you did that and you have a branch, anchor into it, ground into your resting page by putting that symbol. And then also during that same process, we opened up to our word. We each came out with the word. Mine was brilliance, remember? And we claimed it. I am brilliance, your name. I am Kisma. I am brilliance. Some of you had, I am kindness. I am belief. I am, each one of us had a word and we worked with that. So if you remember your keyword, find a spot also to write that keyword on your page, anywhere, wherever it's going to go. And I would do it as an I am, and then your keyword, and that becomes an affirmation. And so I am brilliance, right? So I'm just going to write that right here at the bottom. And when we continue to chronicle and carry from one working to the next and continue to weave them in, we continue to really strengthen those I am statements, those affirmations, those key words that come forth to us, those symbols that have come forth earlier in the season, and especially in the fullness. I chose the medicine wheel, or the wheel of the year, the circle, because we're in the fullness of spring right now. March is the fullness of spring, and that's full moon too. That's the full moon energy. So there's a lot of symbolism in here, even though the season of spring is heavily tied in with the new crescent moon. We're in the fullness of spring. So that's some of the symbolism that I've chosen to work with in mine. Anyways, I'm going to go back to adding my little green leaves and stop talking. I'm just hitting my green leaves now with a little bit of green watercolor. I drew them in with a green Sharpie. And then so I'm kind of explaining things as I go along to show you how everything I'm doing here has a symbolic meaning. Because a light blue to me is very spring. Yellow is the prominent color of spring, but a light green, a yellowish green is also important. And white also ties into this time of year. So the last thing I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to bring in some some white, I'm sorry. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have my goddess of spring peeking out right up there. She's not the prettiest image, but it's the side vision, and her mouth is open and the air is coming out of her mouth into my medicine wheel. So now I'm just going to take a white Koshka pin, and I'm just going to add some little spirals all over, because to me, spiral is my personal most sacred symbol, the triple spiral, but I'm going to just add single spirals in here. Yeah. Okay. Simple. It's a very simple resting page. It holds a lot of meaning. Every time I look at that resting page, I know it's spring. I know it's breath. I know it's air. I know it's new beginnings. And I will automatically know that I created this in the fullness of spring in the month of March, which will also support the understanding of why I worked with a full moon energy. And yeah, so I'm trying to be respectful of everybody's time. And I don't want to take us, I know we got started 10 minutes late. I don't want to take us past that hour point. So I wanted to give an invitation now for anybody who wishes to share. I'm going to remove the spotlight and put us into gallery view. And I would like to invite anybody who would like to share what you've got done so far, and share some of your symbolism that you've put into your resting page. You know, I understand that you might not be finished and you're still going to continue to work on it even after we end our time together. And yeah, who would like to share? And when you volunteer to share, give me a moment to pin you though. Carol, are you getting ready to share? No, in a minute. Okay. Linda, are you getting ready to share?
I can. I don't have much.
That's okay. Let me just spotlight you for everyone. Okay.
I've got my pussy willows,
Oh, that's beautiful.
but it's just on my lined paper. I have to go down and get my smash book.
That works. That'll be easy to transfer.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's very delicate. It's very delicate. Don't you feel that it's delicate? Yeah, I like that. I love the pussy willow.
Very light.
Very light, very light. I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, who is sharing next? Anyone? Chantel? Not yet. Victoria? Nobody has to share. You never have to share if you don't want to, just so you know, but I'll call when it's the time. Are you going to share, Victoria? Let me, I'll
It's
pin
not
you.
much yet, but I'll.
That's
share it.
okay. That's okay. All right.
I've just kind of got oopsie.
Oh, I love it.
The goddess here, and she's gonna have the energy coming out with her hair and the
Very nice.
sunlight and the green and the water starting to flow.
And that's is that like a canyon with water?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like how you did that down at the bottom, like a banner almost.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just a spring.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Alina, I know you said you were having connection difficulties. I didn't know if you wanted to try to share. She might be AFK, so. Okay, so that brings me back to Carol. Did you want to share? Okay, let me spotlight you. Oh, very cool. A daffodil, I love it. And a feather and a green stem. Oh, is that a ribbon, the ribbon with down at the bottom, or is that a die cut? Your vine. Yes, I have that. Don't you love that ribbon? That ribbon is so, for some reason we don't hear your voice, Carol.
You hear it now?
Oh yeah, perfect. That's why I was
Okay.
narrating.
Okay. I said I'm glad I'm a hoarder. I have no idea what we got it from, but I thought one day I'll use that circle.
Oh yeah, it's perfect, isn't it?
All right, so that's what I'm doing, and I'll put my word compassion in there somewhere.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. So remember, everyone, like what Carol just reminded everybody, is to put your keyword in there, to tie it in, to rest in it, because that's part of your spring energy. So you're resting in your spring energy. And then of course, once you completely finish, please do share it on our Facebook page to show what you did for your spring resting page. And that's pretty much this week's. Chantel, did you want to share? No, okay. That's pretty much for today's little check-in. I just thought it would be fun to do our resting page. And of course, we'll do a resting page at some point in the summer and some point in the autumn and some point in the winter, because it's we're resting in each of the seasons. So don't worry, you're going to get that resting page filled up if you're doing the fold out resting page. Okay, just
I'm
a
gonna figure
little
out.
bit of an announcement before we say goodbye and close today. But I'm so happy you're here. That's number one. And tomorrow, I hope you can come. Tomorrow, I'm doing a special pop-up class, and it's a new format, but we're going to have 3 of our very special ladies joining in a panel of discussion and sharing of a procedure, a creative process. And I'm hoping to be able to offer something like this every month in our Goddess Moons, to where it's a class, yes, but it's also a sharing of creativity and process. So tomorrow will be on the panel Linda and Terry and Nadia, and of course myself. And then not only that, but of course Saturday is our new moon. And then uh, the last Tuesday of the month, our special activity is with Carol. Carol's going to be leading us in a class for making our goddess figurines. And if you chose to do the ATCs, that has now officially kicked off. So those who said yes to it have been paired up, and you're now busy creating some of your fun ATCs that you're going to share with each other. So yeah, some fun activities. And yeah, that's the only other thing that's happening this month, which I have not yet posted for, is the vernal equinox, the spring equinox. And I wanted to wait until after Wednesday before I posted on that, so that I'm not constantly bombarding. And I don't know if there will be a play date this month because we're so busy with other activities, but I probably will. But this month I'll probably focus on the Fairy Smashing Club play date. So we'll be doing something fairy for that play date. I'll let you all know though, of course, so that if you want to join in, you're most welcome to join in. But
I'm going to be gone at some point this next week through till
yes,
I'm going to my brother.
yes, you did share that with me.
Yeah, and as well, I found a recipe for corn flour clay.
Oh,
And so I am going to try this today or tomorrow. And if it works, then I will put the recipe up for those that want to make homemade clay.
awesome.
Very
Yeah.
easy.
Awesome. And Carol, did you see that I shared that article about clay, making your own dirt clay or mud clay or whatever?
The one with the vials on it?
No, that was
Oh,
about
okay.
pigments.
Oh, okay.
I shared in the event for your doll making event. I shared an article
Oh,
with
okay.
directions on how to make dry clay and how to make wet clay just from the dirt around you. So,
Yes, I never saw that.
oh yeah, go
Yeah.
take a look at it.
And then
It's
I'll
beautiful.
try this out, and it's just corn flour and PV white glue.
Oh, well, I haven't tried out the other thing, but I found the
Yeah.
article and I went, oh, I need to share this with
Yeah.
Carol and the other ladies because
Awesome.
it's kind of fun. It's fun to know that kind of stuff. So,
Can I
well,
show you what I'm doing just to bide COVID time? I'm cutting my own stones that I've gone on
oh
field
my
trips.
goodness.
So this is my very first cabochon,
Wow.
and these are my eye opals that I got.
Oh, very beautiful.
And I'm going to make them for my daughter and my foster daughter I had at one time.
Oh,
So
that's
that's what I'm doing to beat COVID. This is my new learning experience.
very cool. Very cool. I love
Have
it.
to do it. Have to do something.
Yep, we have to be creatives. We're creatives.
Yeah.
It's like one way or another. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. And I wish you a great rest of your day. And hopefully you can come back, make sure you register by clicking for tomorrow, by clicking the picture. That'll take you to the email list. And I'll be sending out the information for tomorrow, tonight, later today. So
Okay.
that's how it's coming to you, through an email. It won't be posted on
Okay,
there.
make sure that my name's on your email list.
You have to
'cause-
do it yourself. Click on that sign. I don't
Oh, I see what you mean.
click
I
on.
thought you had a list when you sent out emails.
Yeah, I am, but you are, that when you click on that list on the Facebook page
Yep.
about tomorrow, when you click on
Yep.
that picture, that link, it will automatically put you onto the email list for the
Okay.
pop-up class tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't get any from you at all. And I added you to my.
Well, just click on it.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Make sure
thank
that
you.
do the save button after you put your, because you'll have to put your name, your first name, and your email address, and then make sure you click OK or save.
Yeah.
Which you did.
Okay. All right. I haven't seen that yet, so I'll give it a go.
All righty. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.